a tad too bright. Um, is that still too bright? Uh, I think that's good. All right. I think I got everything correct. It's still a little bit bright in my face, I would like to say. I think that works. Okay. All right. Welcome back to another video. And today we are playing again Genshin. Now, I will get it a lot of stuff out the gate. I will talk as a go. We're gonna try our best to get through um the story, but we probably won't finish it today. Um, because we probably do some other stuff in between then. But uh, the next stream may be a little ways out. But there's a reason. Um, we'll get to it. Everything goes well coming up. The next video I come out with should be. It's gonna be not live stream, but it's gonna be more of an edit content. We'll see how that goes. Of course, I will do that with some degree. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan for coming up. So if we don't finish today, I would say probably a little after next week, probably during the weekend of next week, because I got a trip going on and then uh, some other stuff. But I will, as I'm keeping up, Gamescom just came out. We'll present to the game because we're pretty much at what we left off. Last we were on last time about to, and of course the description says Phantom of the Opera, but I don't know if there's any Phantom of the Opera, but I just made the name up. Or the not description, but title, whatever. But yeah, so we'll see how that pretty much goes. Also, while I'm sitting here, we will change my party. This is just a party to explore. Yeah, we'll play with this team. All right, we'll switch to him. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's gonna go. But we'll see. There's also a game I was thinking about doing Baldur's Gate. We'll see. Baldur's Gate is a good game. And it has stuff I like in there. Um, I'm talking about I'm playing Genshin, but I'm talking about Baldur's. But Baldur's Gate has romance and then RPG like stuff and customize your character. Different things that have to go into RPGs that I like. Um, so we'll see. I'll probably just
There's
do it
no
later
need to
on.
exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
Okay. I just let him talk because he's on his depression hours. I gotta give him some time. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much how I was gonna go with a good amount of these streams. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna do this, and we'll see the other content we come out with the and some probably some other stuff. But other than that, let's get out. We can talk as we go, but that's pretty much as we're gonna go into. But yeah, we're just going to see
Stop
what's going
following
on in
me.
here. I guess we can.
Too slow.
Constantly is low, but one thing I did notice. I will take this achievement. No, no, no. Well, I am here. Um, my bag has been neglected, very neglected. So, water. But it's been very much neglected. Like, you see the food, there's no food to be said of. I have no food at all. I have like power ups to power my attack and all that, but pretty much after the Wanderer came out, it pretty much did not cook at all. No, 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 I did. It's just that he took up, because, to be perfectly honest with you, I am not the best at using or playing like Genshin, because there's a lot of comps. I looked up this comp. The other comp I had before was like, I looked it up, but I was probably gonna have Zong Quay Zong, yeah, Zing Quay Zong Quay. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, but pretty much we'll go ahead and just go down and sit down. Go ahead and get this done.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down.
It's our, I guess it's good seats. You get like front row seats. See more of the play than anything.
Uh, uh,
What is going on? You just chilling.
hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kinda awkward if we don't say anything.
Paimon, like it's more awkward that you're saying that it could be awkward with this guy. He's like sitting there like, hmm, a bit of perturbed people. Just go ahead and talk to me. That would be best. We'll just say Paimon, or
Ah, you little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry.
of course. As we talk about, the character is not oblivious to what's going on. Literally what I said. He probably like, I'm right here. I guess I'm sorry. I'm just chilling.
I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down.
What? Like we are in a we are in a place where it echoes like all full sail. If he didn't hear you, I would be suspecting
Wait,
anything
that's not
else.
it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat, and as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
They're not gonna let him
Oh,
finish.
Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to
Yeah.
have you here
Oh
to see
my
my show.
gosh.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervilette?
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now.
When'd she get there?
I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Oh.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. Enjoy the show.
Bro, let's go through the arc. It's how they said Venti. Nobody knows Venti is around. Venti just is drunk and drunk, pretty much drunk 6 days a week. The other day is just him sleeping because he's drunk. But and then we get to I'm forgetting his name. Longley. He's well respected. People think he's dead. Actually, when you think about it, a lot of them pretty much either they think they're dead or like the first one, dead or they're not like around. So that's something. Um, then we have Inazuma. People are like, "Oh my God, Raiden, Shogun, she's so crazy," and then she's just pretty much just chilling around, just walking around, eating dongo, whatever they calls, and just chilling after her old evil arc or joke arc, you could call it. And then Sumeru, it's actually the opposite of Sumeru. They're like, oh, we like the higher or um the higher lesser yeah the other Kusanali, and then we don't like the lesser Kusanali because it reminds us of we lost that one, so we got this one, so we pretty much got a hand me down, a substitute that we don't want. So they're all that, and then after they rewritten all that stuff, they like her now. So I guess they're keeping on with the archons having a presence in the community because pretty much Mondstadt and Leeway they just said the people are people. We don't need to be in their lives. They good. Which I think the game does a good job at like doing how the arcans do stuff in the background. Definitely Venti. Venti is led to be on. Venti is stronger than they talk about, and also knows more than they thought. Because they alluded to Sumeru. Wait, yeah, I think they alluded to Sumeru. Yeah, we'll just say that. But other than that, it was an attempt I'm
Huh?
going on.
So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
Let we go ahead and see.
Ooh! They're dimming the lights! The show must be starting!
I do like to quit this up the cinematic. That's supposed to come out. I do like they changed the. They did this for Fontaine. The lighting, all the lighting effects, all this stuff going on with all that. That's why they added what I call point ray tracing dot o. it lit up and then everything works as it should.
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
The audio change really. It's not bad, but.
Huh? But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes.
Wait.
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
He blow. But he more funny. He blows up the water.
Lynette, are you still
Ah!
there? Don't go
Yeah.
too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Hyman didn't see him do anything. Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking.
Yeah,
To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
He is right. He is right.
Yes, you're right. Hyman couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member.
The traveler.
Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow! How's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
Papa, please stop screaming. You watch the show. Having the show is you like you want to see a train. Ah, I'm tired. Yeah. Do you think? Oh my God! Shut up. Oh, oh my gosh. Uh, let's watch and see.
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector.
The traveler. It just
It
so
selects numbers
happens.
entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate.
Oh, the traveler.
Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations!
Okay, I was wrong.
You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an
I
entire
guess
minute.
it would make sense to put him in
Please,
there.
come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meripede.
What?
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter
Oh
the
yeah.
magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown?
Yeah. 3.
Like this.
1.
60, 59, 58.
God
Just,
dang.
I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still... Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59. 60, 59! That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Oh, all right. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something.
Wait, wasn't he one of the Fatui? Or am I going crazy? It's the doctor, and then another dude. Ah, whatever. I can't remember.
40, 39, 38! Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. Ah, what was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like any...
25, 24, 23! What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry.
I can't believe
we
this
still
guy.
have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19, 18, 17!
Man, Lindy's a
It seems
troll.
things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown.
Bro, what is going
10
on?
seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10,
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7,
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5, 4, 3,
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0.
You have your new character.
Ta-da!
Wait, where's the audience at? It turns out she's not in there. I don't know.
What happened? Is this... Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
Yeah.
Happened.
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this...
Yes, that's right.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before! I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Why are you yelling? It's an auditorium, please.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge. That can't be right. How can Linny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
Oh my gosh.
I just think that he... Well, but what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
All you people I
A
hate.
kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
Oh my god.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our... That's right. I mean you, Traveler.
Bro!
You'll support Linny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
Bro, like, dude, you like, somebody has died. But I want him now! You know what? Forget it. Nobody cares about that dead guy. Okay, whatever. We don't care about the missing girl. What I want to know is if y'all want me to face him.
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met.
Oh my god.
But with Linny's help, our little duel ended
What
in draws.
duel?
But draws really are
What
the
what
most
do
boring
we didn't fight?
possible
Are we
outcome.
talking about fighting words? I definitely won. Or should I say, Travelers definitely won. If we talk about
No more
accomplishments.
draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese. Huh. It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
Yes,
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot Outlander can build in
They
such
call
a short
me
amount of time.
Detective Sherlock Holmes don't got nothing on me.
I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Absolutely nothing.
Linny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
No.
Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But, if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box.
Now I will say, if we do an actual detective scene, and we probably won't. There's probably an actual answer, but if we get to do that, I'll be in. I'm gonna instantly know what's going on. I'm gonna instantly
As
know.
for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Yeah, where did they come from?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh?
No, but
Don't
it's
worry.
fine.
Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
Own savings. Where do you get the money to have own savings? No, Bob, an actual a hard labor worker.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence.
Man, fuck them guards.
Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
thank
got
you
it.
so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, just leave it to us.
we got this. Is this another day?
Since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
All right, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case. Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Don't tell me what I have to do. Oh, somebody's trying to join my world. What is it? Oh, that's a net player.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see.
He was about to sound like
The
Batman.
deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
Yeah,
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
Yeah, I can do this. You check in as undiscovered evidence clues in on a case, record, then investigate corresponding area to locate them. Use the perception skill to find evidence and clues that you can be investigated within a certain radius around yourself. This will advance your overall progress. For a case. However, the reason for the victim. From my retrospect. Oh, he's still there. Okay, of course it's not going to be up there. But, what I would formally think, judging by this glass, and judging by how it's correspond, yes, if you would think it would be on there. But, how if you correspond to her being up there, yes, it would be corresponding at a certain distance. But, this is there, and this is here. So, when it fell down, it does two credits. It pretty much smashed in two different ways. What I suspect, somebody beforehand lit it on fire because the fires were not high enough to ignite the fire because the tank was higher than disclosed. So I wouldn't say it would do that. And of course, both of their visions were not there. So, suspecting weren't inside the box at the moment, he might dodge the fallen water tank. Left on the scene after we again must have struck it really hard.
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparations well beforehand. So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why would you write all this down?
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, alright?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
Reconsider. I already got it done.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Lenny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Also, you tall order.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Lenny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Lenny reserved our seats for us
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lenny.
Even though it's bad for Lenny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
It'll be fine. Because Lenny did not reserve her seat. Okay.
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troupe members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
That's... In the case of Lenny, the machine is not helping him. The pyrotechnics rope is not helping him. But one thing that does help him, he has no grievances with that. It's pretty much just leading into he could have done it. But the case of he couldn't have done it or had no relevance with her does point exact. She reserved her own seating. And that means Lenny would have interest or relevance to know that she purchased a ticket. Yes. So, in the case of Lenny, it's showing he may not be the culprit. But it's still a lot to think about.
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparations. Well, why would it be him? Gosh, no wonder the serial disappearances never got solved. We all heard that noise, didn't we?
Hey, you! Yes, both of you. Over here. I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
I don't think
Well, you're right on the mark about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
No.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm not gonna call you boss,
Silver,
but
her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
how you doing?
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the name?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No, no need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Sure.
Okay.
I call
If
you
you
boss
say so.
anyway.
Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
He just got laughed.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time.
Also, I did see you during the audience.
Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
You know, when they put the hand out like that, I get you. I understand. She has the
Marina
true
sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without
intuition of
any
power.
decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she?
Yeah.
But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Of course.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Be perfectly honest, I don't trust her either. Just look at her. Like, she's loud too. She's louder than Paimon. That's taking something. I like Paimon, but you cannot detest that Paimon is loud as fuck.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Well...
Alright, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Sure.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Not really.
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me.
So you're not gonna answer our question. Okay.
In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
And why would that be?
Yeah.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent.
I love this one. Yes, Mamus.
No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations
Oh
may
no,
be,
the
trials that go on stage here must be based in fact.
That must do a number on your voice. Mademoiselle.
And if that can be done, boss, then...
Alright, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You pass with flying colors.
Thank you.
Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You...
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
What is going on?
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth.
Sure.
You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
Sure.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks!
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with...
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection.
Also, I'm probably gonna look this up. What are these fur balls? I guess fur balls. They look like the girl that's in like the Vigilante Deku art, kind of like that. Yeah, like green, white. Yeah, I don't know.
So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on. I doubt there was much opportunity then, either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here.
To be perfectly honest, Melazines were probably told during the Cat Girl event, which I did not play. So I'm guessing that's during there.
Thank you for your help. help. This'll be useful info. We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going.
Oh, well, I wasn't trying to do that.
Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of—
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this? Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
I guess.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
Some good trick
And that's
play.
how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
What?
And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow, every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Liddy. It's like my honest reaction. Lenny, Lenny, you're on trial for committing murder. He do 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 do. Oh, Lenny, we have found you guilty on these charges. Devage.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Oh. Because of tank.
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear?
What?
And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and...
No, 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 no. No, no, no. Dude, ladder. Ladder. Please. Ladder. Oh my gosh. It's not that my controller moving. It's this getting. Oh my gosh. There we go. Of course, it didn't even help in the grand scheme of things. Guess the bookcase. It looks like a hook shot.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all...
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
No.
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Let's see. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. You know what? I got it. These boxes. There's stuffed inside. Something stuffed inside.
What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right! Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Let's see. That's right there. No, I don't want to investigate it. No. I press it again. Alright. No jumping.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene.
Alright.
Let's find a place to sort out.
Apologies for the wait.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear... That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neuvillette called the shots.
No.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? What?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just
course.
hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
I don't think
In
this
that
is time
case,
for food.
let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
We can still do that. Nah, we can still do that. Like,
I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
We can still do that. Like, the trial don't matter.
Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, mademoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
We must make the snacks. It's like a whole kitchen in the back.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
Where are you keeping it? I got it all.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Egg, sugar, almond. So like a almond cake or something?
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it.
Or an almond cookie?
These three are quite the interesting group.
Almond candy? Must be a spin de rosa. I've not gotten French down at all. The only French I know off the top of my head is, of course, kiss shots or Shinobu's. Her name off the top of my head. It's Azarola. No. I almost messed up the whole name. Kiss shot Azarola. Orin, like Orin hot on the blade. Yeah, you know, I remember it off the cuff. Don't know how to say it automatically, like the spin de rosa. Oh, macaroons.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven.
I forgot macaroons are made like
Even
that.
better now. Paimon
And it's
can't stop
your base
drooling.
game.
From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Okay.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Oh, let's go. I would like a lavender, melon? Orange? I can't remember the macaroon I had that was like lavender or something like that.
Only 3?
Oh my god. Look at those macaroons. Like the macaroons I know it's like those. These are like these.
Well,
it's a whole goddamn
sweets
sandwich.
might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
You say that out of context. That don't sound like tea. Also, that tea is not black. That is clearly pink. Like, hey guys, like I know y'all did good with the aesthetic, but you could have made the tea at least pink, or not pink, black. It says black. It's clearly not black.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person, but the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowell.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guards said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got 5. We got 3 right here.
Please don't worry about it.
1
At
and a
my age, a
half.
few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count.
I don't think so.
Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
It's fine. If you ate them, you ate them.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Lelouch, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you...
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course?
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
Forget it.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
How much do y'all have?
Oh, this really is your hobby, huh?
This whole trial has been just macaroon simulator. I should have called that.
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help, and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go.
Spina di Rosula. Rusa? I don't know if she's saying that correctly. To be perfectly honest, I'm guessing she is. I need to see the Japanese,
right,
if how they say
put
it.
our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial.
I wouldn't say they would probably say it right, but most of the time they don't mess up with the French names. Just like,
There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
sudden accident appears. Right. Change out, it won't let me. I have to actually go in the bag.
Whoever the murderer was, why would it be? That size wouldn't have been a problem for Paimon. Digging a tunnel just for a magic trick?
We're missing one more piece of the thing. Can we go back down? Let's just check back in the opera house. Alright. I guess we have to go to the next day because it's not really giving me anything. Because there's one more thing to look. Guess we go to the next day. When did it say? I gotta... No. 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 Oh my gosh. 8. Can't tell it's day or night outside, so I guess it's day.
Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny, besides, I doubt Farina under-
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No, we're already-
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
Oh my gosh.
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, In order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage.
Well, it's pretty much
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Sure.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in—
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
I thought
the roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from...
I was right by the box, and I definitely...
Look at those scales. Could those...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
I will tell you, out of all the Archons, straight up, design-wise, she looks pretty good for design-wise with the raindrops. But other than that, she's the most annoying Archon to date. Vintage just a drunk. Zhongli is Zhongli. Just Raiden and Shogun is just she wants to be loved by herself, and then I'm forgetting her name. Kusanali, whatever her name. I forgot her name. She they don't just like her at the part of it. She pretty much sleep the whole time, and she's pretty much knowledgeable, nice. So, out of all of the, I don't like her.
Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. Oh, good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this
Order! Order! First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
species.
Please answer my...
I'm sorry. Yes.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived.
Order! Order! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn.
So you would stick in that case, my dear audience.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm
It
sorry,
doesn't make sense.
Traveler and Paimon.
Like y'all were thinking of like, I'll look it up. You got multiple people in your family. Old dude swims and dives. Y'all magicians. A lot of it is like setting up, y'all.
Yeah. Sorry. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vitui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset, but our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could... That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more... Right. So, you be the judge. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please.
well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust, but like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to...
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Yeah. I just want to show the arc. I truly do not like her. I do like the. I can't say his full name. Also, I do not remember his full name.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial.
The Neverlet. Yeah, I like him. I like his character.
When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
You can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence includes obtain.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound.
I do like to say the art they do sometimes, like this one, like this art's really good. I like the.
Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed.
Gosh, dang. you know this is wrong or not true, cause bro, Liddy, you might as well call it. Gave him, I can't. It's not air. I'm forgetting wind vision. Like that with Alba's strength.
So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the
Objection!
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linney experienced and what he saw.
What up? Okay. No, I don't know why I said refute on that. This is a loophole.
According to Linney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey. Linney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth. Linney did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Yeah.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Oh, wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh,
That's right, you tell him! Well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course, you're saying that he wasn't.
Wait, so they talked about
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! Ha ha! How do I get?
I love Bible.
Well played. To think you'd use such logic.
I do think it's kind of cool. They're adding like the how she's really feeling. She's just keeping a poker face. I still don't like her. Like, it's kind of like.
Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made a right options.
Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Hey, so was I right?
Huh? That can't be right.
Oh, is that
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
How can we, Lenny, have been able to...
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... The deceased's name is Cap... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. No one entered or left the Opera House through... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. It would have been tough for both... No one entered or left the Opera House. It would have been tough for... No one entered or left the Opera...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things?
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired...
If only we knew how...
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 and it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like...
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Objection!
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the deceased's name is Cow. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
Yes. So I had to get that wrong. I knew I was wrong. I was like, it's under here.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed
Oh, just how could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here. Must we really? Magic tricks are ultimate.
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of... Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings.
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceit.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the primordial sea. The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy.
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partner?
Let's go.
Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining Mr. Linney. It appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence.
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Yeah.
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. The deceased's name is Cowell.
The disillusion.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have some... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
To control the timing.
I remember there was something else with... Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism. The water from the primordial sea... remember there was something.
Yeah, they call me Sherlock Holmes without the Holmes and the Sherlock. So that means I'm better than Sherlock Holmes.
Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again!
She said the thing, Ace Detective, objection!
In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
I don't know.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now.
Yeah.
Falsely accused an innocent person.
Yes.
Now, it seems like the only point of
Well,
contention remaining is
not
the
innocent.
exact circumstances
I
that
wasn't
led to Cal's death.
that fact. You still trying to
His
steal
notes
something.
mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal...
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to... Does this not clear, my dear Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent, having made modifications to the props beforehand. His accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end of the road?
No.
Oh no. Seems using the...
I think we've all... I believe this is indeed... Now then, my good...
Excuse me, everyone.
Miss, I must ask...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate? And I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has... What in the world?
No offense, miss, but miracles like...
Come on now, don't be... But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth? And wouldn't such a trick... Come on, Linny and Lynette. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show...
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after...
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence.
Yeah.
I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I.
That'll teach you to.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Oh my. I thought the mindset people were all good. You must have came from the whatever clan that other girls from.
I heard that
Gotta
Lenny's
be.
show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before.
Oh, that does make. We seen her before. That's why I was sitting there like she looks for herself. Like I know how good it is. They got problems with the same person. Look, but we seen her before. She stole that money from that guy.
But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I
Yes.
barely got away.
Yes.
Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from...
They sometimes they know how to make a good game mechanics. Then he enters. No. It's not the magic box. What?
Seems this won't
I would like to say, I'm not doing this wrong. How they're doing this doesn't make sense. They said perspective of her, so. Oh no. What? What the
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Okay, they putting this in a weird direction. I guess this would be
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell.
I would like to say, Cal, how you let your sister get beat down like that? How you he's like, you go, and then he get meeked up by a face. He didn't see the face behind her. He like, oh, she'll be good.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time!
Yeah, she said the
Having been
thing.
selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Yeah.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
But that was one day.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
So Paimon did eat 3. I don't know how she was able to get to it. Yeah, they talking. They see somebody. They.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's...
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statement? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before...
What are you... No, I have no further arguments.
Yes.
Really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
No.
Wow, look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise.
That's That's kind of weird, just because she's from Mondstadt, which I would like to say. Luckily, she's not in Mondstadt. All Mondstadt people are cool. Even Lila, even Kaya. Actually, when I think about it, yeah, we should have thought. We should have guessed. Kaya, bro, abandoned out here.
Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed.
Oh, that makes so much sense. In the event we just had, it talked about the supreme or whatever thief. We should have guessed that. We should have guessed that.
However, his
He
opponent was
got
more
us.
capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim.
Yeah.
Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
In that retrospect, we still not gonna talk about what you were doing the other the orb thing, but we'll worry about that later.
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately,
well, yeah.
This case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Like a Honkai Star Rail kind of thing. Yeah, that's like Honkai Star Rail, like crazy.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Yeah. Okay, we get it. And God, bye, man. You
Great work, partners.
fucking loud.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's bag?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that...
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen...
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Coupon
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
Who's this group that's trying to take the even though the two they can't serve.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher. Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking...
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
The automatons. The automatons. I don't know where they came from this whole time, but
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Winnie...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't, but still. Let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
Oh, okay. I knew. Wait. No, I thought the other guy was that. So I was right. There was somebody I was forgetting. And the Knave, that's somebody different. I don't know.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
Oh, well. Yeah, I definitely I I got all the other stuff right. They just confused me on somehow to shape up the events. But this, I straight confused. I knew that also as thief. I just forgot because I'm good with faces. I knew exactly. I was like, yeah, she kind of thief. But I even said, I'm pretty sure I even said it. I was like, doesn't she look like the thief? And then I just played it out. And then that's a girl with the X's, right?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing trick. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility?
That was how we felt at first, too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days.
Wait, I thought...
But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
Hey, to be perfectly honest, I would have did the same. I would have did the same. I would have did the same.
She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here.
So I'm guessing you betrayed her.
I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles, but she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, So that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
Has there been a Fatui that actually been helpful? It's been nice. I'm gonna say that's a cat brother. Child, but Child's like just a fight crazy, hungry idiot boy. That he just likes fighting.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
Yeah.
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland.
Oh,
To us orphans,
Arlecchino.
the only connection we have left to this world,
like
apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge...
It's alright. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is... If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to...
Bye, Linny!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving... Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people.
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. Sorry.
Don't say that now.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new... Wait, shall we have a farewell meal?
Huh? Do we really need to...
Well, I just... Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your...
You don't have to twist...
Oh, wonderful.
All right, then. Let's...
Oh, for the... Oh my gosh. Yes, the Hydro Sigils, yeah! No, they just gave me a mission. So we leave. Well, that's pretty far. Where is that at? No. I guess we go over here. Okay, we can only collect. How much do we get from that anyway? Oh, we're just a little bit off. That's crazy. Hold on, wait. No! Hold on, wait. We could probably make this work. Hold up. Maybe I can do this real quick. I wanna end off the summit. Without reason. Wait, hold up. I know what we can do. We can do this. Hold on, wait. Will that you give me enough? That's 40. Hold up. No, 20. So 40 and 40. That's that's 80. I'm on the wrong one anyway. No. Cause I'm getting no. Nah. I do have not even touched the missile stuff. Okay. Well, since I misread it, we'll probably do it something I asked what I come on. But that is pretty much it. And a good amount of stuff done. But to pretty much end it off, we'll probably come back and finish at a later date. Gonna try to get it finished maybe this week, but we'll see. It's not gonna look like it will, but we're gonna have some other stuff coming on the channel, so you can like and subscribe if you want to see more, because there will be stuff coming up other than just streams and all that. But we'll see if we can get any more streams out, and try to do more stuff on Twitch. That's why, if you look on my other thing out in the description, probably gonna have it in the description later on, when I figure out stuff on that. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the stream. Thank you all for coming, and I will see y'all.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it
Next
like
time.
it is. If someone can't handle it,